Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your girl Alana Simone. So first of all, I wanted to welcome you guys in. Hope you're having an amazing day. So today we're going to be talking about do you recognize and know that God still has a plan for your life? And so this is really a video I really wanted to encourage you, because oftentimes, especially in my generation, I think that we see so many people around us accomplishing things. We see so much stuff happening, and so a lot of times we start questioning. We start questioning our life. We start questioning what we're doing. We don't know what we're gonna do. We don't know a lot of things, and so we just start questioning so much stuff. But I really wanted to encourage you, because you know that God still has a plan for your life. And it doesn't matter what what the world tells you. It doesn't matter what your friends tell you. It doesn't matter what anybody tells you. God still has a plan for your life. If you have been in a situation that has been terrible, if you've been living a reckless life, listen, it's okay. If you've been living a reckless life, if you've been living a life that you just been sinning. You've been sinning all over the place. You've been drinking, smoking, having babies left and right. You've been doing all this. Listen. God still has a plan for your life. And so I need you to know that. Oftentimes people tell us what we do wrong. They forget that we need encouragement. Just like they want encouragement, so do we. Just like they want somebody to tell them it's going to be okay, so do we. So I'm going to tell you today that if you have been down a path that hasn't been the best, that hasn't been the best at honoring God or honoring people around you, let me tell you, it's not too late to turn your life around. It's not too late to make a change. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you've been through. The only thing that matters is today that you make a decision that you want to do better. That you recognize that the things that you've been doing have not been the best. Listen, you've been living your life, okay? You've been living your life. You're human. The world has told you and sold you so many things, so you thought that was the way that you should go. So it's okay. Listen, a lot of times there's so many people who think that way. They think, okay, the world said this, so I need to do this. Or my mom said this, I need to do this. Or my friend said this, I need to do this. So we be all over the place going down different paths. And half the time we don't even recognize that God has a path for us. He has a plan for us. And he still has a plan for us, regardless of what path we decide to take in the beginning. And so I need you to know that oftentimes, people, especially the church, push people away, especially my generation, or we don't even want to go to church. We don't want to hear nothing about that, because we're just going to get judged and criticized and talked down on because of the decisions that we made. The decision that we thought was best for our life. We are no longer usually accepted in the church arena or accepted by people who proclaim God, because they no longer can recognize you as human. They no longer can recognize you as a person who had a choice, who made the choice just like they did and went down a path that they thought was best for their life, and then realized, a couple years down the line, that it really wasn't the best choice for them. So now oftentimes people forget that. People who usually come into Christ, they had a past, but then they automatically forget their past, because they're like, oh my God, I'm this perfect person now and I never had a past because I love Jesus all my life. Like, stop. You was out here doing what you was doing. So I'm not even going, let me stop. But you was doing what you was doing and you forget. And so now my generation's out here doing what they doing because they made a choice like you made a choice. But the difference now is people don't accept you now deciding to make a new choice. When you go down a path, like, it was easy for people to go down a path, but when somebody decides to change their life and realize the path that they've been going down isn't the best, who's there now? to help bring them back in? Who's there now to start showing them a different way? Who's there now? Because oftentimes the people who they think are going to be there for them have pushed them away because they didn't like or accept the choices that these people made. They forgot that we're human and we're allowed to make decisions on our own or make decisions for our life. They didn't like that because it didn't fit into what they thought it should fit in. And so, today I really don't want to focus on the negative, because why? Oftentimes, a lot of the times, people who go down a path that's not the best or what people think that they're supposed to, they already recognize, they know that they feel bad like on their own, or they have to go through their own emotions. So I'm not going to sit here and add to that, right? But I want to just, be that person who really shares something different, who shares and wants you to know that there's another way, that God still has a plan for your life despite what you've been through, despite the decisions that you made. It's something to know that God has grace, that God has mercy. And no, of course, we can't abuse that. We can't be like, oh, well, he has grace and mercy, so we could just be out here living a reckless life and he's just going to forgive me and there's no consequences. No, that's not the case. But we need to know in the time that we do need it, that it's there. His desire is for all his children to follow his ways, to the best that they can. His desire is not for us to be perfect, but it's to be an example, to set an example for others to follow in this world. That is one thing I love about God, is he really allows me and us to be ourselves. He allows us to make mistakes. He allows us to make choices. And he allows us to really not be perfect, to not have it all together, but to really just give our best. And a lot of times we don't even recognize that our best is enough for him. I'm getting a little emotional, but it's because so many people don't realize that God doesn't desire us to live like such a perfect life. He desires to give us, just for us to give our best. And our best is different for each person. And so oftentimes we think that we gotta, as soon as we give our life to Christ, we gotta go to church every day. We gotta pray every day. We gotta do all this super religious stuff. Oh my God. But it's not the case, And I need people to know that. God just desires, can you start with the relationship? That's it. In a relationship, it builds. Just imagine you meeting your best friend and you guys start talking, and it's like along the lines, your relationship starts to get stronger and stronger and stronger. But the first thing that happened was y'all came together and talked. That's all God needs you to do, is talk to him. Share what you've been through. Share the decisions that you chose to make, whether good or bad. Listen, he already knows what you're doing or what you did. To be like, oh my God, I don't want God to know. Girl, boy, he knows. He already knows. He knows all things. He's God. Okay, so you can't be like, I'm going to hide. Okay, but I'll tell you this one thing. Like, I went out drinking and partying and smoking with my friends, and I got high, and I know it's kind of bad, but I don't want you to know. He know. He already know. You playing yourself by not telling him. He know what it is. Listen, he knows what it is. Just be honest with him and say, this is what I did, Jesus. This is what I did, Lord. And that's what it is. Just be honest. Stop looking at him as he's like a dictator and he's going to like hurt you. A lot of times people stop their relationship with God, even forming one, because a lot of times they had parents who treated them badly. And so they look at God like they did their parents, because they haven't fully been able to forgive and let go of what their parents did to them or how their parents hurt them. They look at God the same way. And so therefore they can't even fathom having a relationship because they can't separate the two. But let me tell you, when you can learn how to separate that, when you can learn that God is God all by himself, and he is so different and so loving and so forgiving and gives us grace and mercy and wants the best for you, when you can start to recognize that and separate that, you then get to see God in a new way. You then get to realize he's not this bad person that we made up in our head. We then get to see and hear what he desires for our life and know that he has a plan for you. And so, you know, whatever situation you're in, I only you and God know. Because listen, I'm not at your house. I'm not at your school. I'm not nowhere with you. I'm just on this camera talking to you virtually, okay? But God knows. It's okay. Listen, it's okay. We all make mistakes. There is no perfect person. The best thing you can do when you recognize you've gone on a path that you really thought that was the right way, or somebody told you was the way you should go, and you recognize that it's not, now you you can do better. You know, I've been going God's way for pretty much my whole life. But I had a decision to make. You get to a point, you get older. You don't have to necessarily, just because you're brought up on the things of God, you still have a decision to make for yourself. Nobody can make this decision for me but me. I recognize that this is the path that I wanted to go down. And let me tell you, it's been the best decision of my life. It hasn't been perfect, because why? I'm human. I'm a human. Like, listen, I still go through stuff y'all go through. It's just the only difference with me is I partner with God. I got God on my side. And when you got God on your side, it changes the game of life. It gives you purpose. It gives you fulfillment. God reminds you and shows you the plan that he has for you. He speaks to you. He shows you love. He shows you grace. He shows you mercy like no one else can. And so nobody could ever convince me to go a different way, because I know this way is the right way. I know this way is a way that is like no other. No one could ever convince me to go a different way, because God's proven himself time and time in my life to allow me to know why I've chosen the best way. So today I can only offer and present to you a different way. I can only share with you about God's way. You know, it's a way that's really undescribable. It's a way that most people don't ever experience because they stay stuck, or they have an image that people or the world made of God, and they usually don't want to have nothing to do with it. But let me tell you, there is freedom in relationship with God. There is freedom on your journey with God. And I guarantee you, most of the things that you're searching for, love, peace, joy, happiness, you will only find it when you choose God's way. And no, God's way doesn't expect you to be perfect. It doesn't expect you to be super holy and do no wrong. No, it expects you to just do your best. Do your best. And that's all he really asks. It's no perfect way to really please God on this journey, except doing the best that you can. And so, you know, if you are in the valley of decision, or you've gone away that you thought was right, or somebody told you, but now you're like, I don't think this is working out. Know that God's way is available. Know that in this way, You can have grace, you can have mercy, you can have direction on your life. You can have joy, you can have happiness, you can have peace. Yes, you're still human, so you'll have things come up in your life. But when you partner with God, He'll help you to be able to combat and really handle the things that come up in your life. So you no longer have to stay stuck, defeated, and broken. But you can rise up in victory and know that because you have God on your side, anything is possible. And so you guys, just know that God is available. God is here for you. It doesn't matter what you've done. All that matters is the decision you make today to do better. And from there, God will take you on a journey to help get you to the place where He wants you to be. But it starts with making the decision. So really think about that today. Really know that it's up to you. Just like it was up to me, it's up to you. But just know, if you want different results in your life, the best pathway that I can recommend to you is God's way, and not in religion. I always say that because in religion, you'll stay bound. Religion, you'll stay stuck. In religion, you will stay away from God. But in relationship, you will find freedom, you will find strength, and you will find the joy and love that you've been searching for. Because now you see God as your friend. You see God differently. So, just think about that. You guys, really hope that you just think about this. I really hope that this video gave you some new perspective, gave you some new insight, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.